Hi, it's Jez here with a review of Fallout 4. Stay tuned. Fallout 3 remains one of my fondest Xbox 360 memories, and to say I was excited when Bethesda announced Fallout 4 is probably an understatement. The Fallout series generally follows the exploits of survivors of a near-future nuclear apocalypse. The original Fallout games were turn-based isometric RPGs, and Bethesda took the franchise into the third dimension with Fallout 3, adding first-person shooting into the mix. Fallout 3 retained much of the series' identity for player freedom, roleplay and character progression, injecting some of Bethesda's signature first-person RPG gameplay into the mix. Fallout 4's reveal at E3 promised to take the franchise to all new heights, adding refreshed shooting mechanics, settlement construction and over 100,000 lines of dialogue. I've sank well over 100 hours into Fallout 4, and like millions of others, I do love the game. However, there are a fair few things to be disappointed about. Most of all is the fact the series seems to be straying from its role-playing roots. Fallout 4 is tremendously detailed. Its weapons, locations and radioactive creatures feature some of the best art direction we've seen from the genre. When it comes to raw visuals, Fallout 4 might not best the likes of The Witcher 3, but the trade-off is that every single object in its sizable world is an interactive 3D object, and not merely there to look pretty. Speaking of Fallout 4's interactive world, objects can now be scrapped and poured into its addictive but optional base building side game. Sadly, a lot of the systems that govern this gameplay are far from polished. Managing settler populations and their needs is an absolute chore, and each location has a somewhat restrictive build limit. Although some of the limitations can be circumvented using PC console commands, Xbox and PS4 players will have to make do. The fact that settlement building just works, to quote Todd Howard, is due to Bethesda's dynamic creation engine. Sadly, most of the bugs, quirks and criticisms from Skyrim haven't been resolved. NPCs are still brain-dead zombies that walk into walls and block doorways, and although Bethesda is notorious for its fun engine quirks, I find that these often simply serve to shatter the immersion.
Need something?
When Fallout 4 is firing on all cylinders, however, it's absolutely tremendous. The gunplay has been vastly improved and now safely sits among the genre's heavy hitters. Throw in the fact Fallout 4 has dozens of unique weapons, many of them with hundreds of craftable attachment combinations, and you'll be hard pressed to find the combat repetitive. Fallout 4's progression systems have been streamlined and still offer the player tons of different ways to play. You can be a heavy melee class using sledgehammers and bombs, you can be a stealthy sniper class, you can play as a fist fighter or stick specifically to handguns. There's no wrong way to approach combat, and the progression system allows for tons of replayability. However, there often is a wrong way to approach quests, which is an unfortunate departure for the series. The game has almost no branching narrative. Quests railroad you into specific aims and goals, and the new dialogue wheel needn't even be there, as NPCs will mostly ignore your protests and suggestions.
You know, you talk like a jerk, but you still helped us out, whether you wanted to or not.
There are occasional opportunities to be the bad guy, but considering the main quest barely allows you to stray from the doting father persona defined for you, these opportunities simply come off as jarring. You can no longer use your character skills to approach conversations, and regular persuasion events usually just allow you to extort more caps from quest givers or circumvent the odd gunfight. Throughout my entire 100 plus hours with Fallout 4, I haven't felt that sense of choice afforded to me by the quests of previous games, which comes as a real disappointment. Despite this fact, however, I've still thoroughly enjoyed my time with Fallout 4, but I am concerned about whether future Bethesda titles will stray even further from their role-playing roots. Fallout 4 is certainly one of the best open-world shooters ever made, but I feel like they've sacrificed some of the franchise's RPG credibility in the process.
Maybe we'll meet again, under better circumstances.
If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. I've been Jez for Windows Central, I'm MSF2Y on Twitter, and thanks for watching.
Hey, cut it out! That wasn't very nice. That wasn't very...